If we look at the side view of him coming into land, then you can see the little small adjustments that I've made to the path of the route. Specifically, note this little bump over that I've put in here, this little up and down again. Very slight, very subtle. But what that is for is to allow for the double little lift, because we're doing one flap there. We're going to go very swiftly into another flap, which needs to give him a little lift bounce. And then, of course, the last flap is going to be him sort of catching himself on that final parachute coming in to settle. You can notice I've also TCB'd this curve just to work out the speed. And we see, of course, that's what's happening there is he's coming in nice and fast, does that flap and immediately starts to slow down. You'll notice, of course, that I haven't done a complete slow into this last frame. He is still, traveling at speed. He does hit the ground with speed. And so we're going to see how we deal with him actually catching that landing once he does hit the ground. So before we start worrying about too much detail of his actual, flight coming into land, we are going to take note that this is probably the point at which I'm going to say his feet begin to bite. He's actually hitting the ground at this point. So what I need to do here is, of course, switch out that IK again. Problem is, at the minute, you can notice it's turned at a funny angle, obviously, because it's under the root, so it's, twisted round in space. It would be nice to get my IK goals nice and, square, so as they're not working in this bizarre off-axis space. So what I'm going to do is grab the old match 2 there. I'm going to key it at this frame, and I'm going to come back, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to go a whole second, I think, because that will give me a greater amount of time to blend, so if there are problems I can correct them more easily.